So this is where we're at with our kiln prototype, I guess, right? We built kind of like a model and now we're making pieces of it. So we made this one wall, which is there. This is half of a platform, and we made the supports that's out in the garage. So I think what we'd like to do is work on this end wall. We made a side wall, but I think we need to make an end wall. To make an end wall, I think we need to have the full width of the platform. So I think what I have to do is maybe not completely, like this isn't complete. I know I have to take it apart. We gotta put brackets in there. We gotta do a lot of different things, but I think I might make the other section that goes next to it, same thing. Not finish it all, but just get it together so I can mount this wall up here and then see what my end wall would look like. The other part in mounting this side wall to here was I was planning on using a tongue and receiver kind of thing where I have a bracket in here and there's a tongue on the wall and it slides in, locks in, and then bolts from this way. I did pull out some metal to start. I have to design, fabricate, install, and test. So this is my supply of metal for the moment. So I have to come up with something to try. Okay, we have our pieces out in the garage. Take a look outside. It's like, it's had a little snow squall that moved through. It's, I don't know, like 25 degrees and probably a 30-mile-an-hour wind. All right, let's set up and see what it looks like. Okay, so we've just put that support to keep it upright, but the intent is to make a bracket here, a bracket there that slides down into a receiver to give it alignment this way, and then it will be a pin from this way and will hold it in place so it doesn't lift up, so it attaches the sidewall to the platform, which means that, see how this board's here? I wasn't planning on that. So I made this pressure treated, but the water's gonna come down underneath. So I think I have to extend the siding down, the sheeting and the siding below the bottom of that, which does mean it has to miss that too. Okay. This is part of the thought process that isn't clearly defined. So my first thought was I'd make this end wall the same as the side, like this, put it on the inside, put a tongue and a receiver, and then pin it from that side. But the problem is when I go to a double wide, excuse me, this wall comes out. There's a platform that butts up down here next to it, but that wall's out. So then if my wall is here, then I have it's probably a 2-inch gap. So then I have a 4-inch gap going up the middle of my double wide. So some contemplation. Let's try. Let me get my glove back on because it's cold out here. I could sit the wall on top of the wooden pin. That way it lines up here, and when I take this wall out for double wide, this will butt right up against the other one. But let's look at securing it now. Initially, I was thinking I could do like an L bracket here, bolt it here, and then we'll be able to put a pin through here. There's not a lot of room because when there's a double wall, it's like 4 inches or so here. So I could pin it through this side, and that would give us 3-axis, no up or down, no in or out, this way or that way. But then my siding, sheeting and siding comes to here, so now I got water going down here, going underneath, and making a mess inside of that. If I did a short wooden pin, put the sheeting and siding all the way down, then I lose access, easy access to putting that pin in there. I can't see it, right? So I have to come underneath, and then it creates this critter space in there from underneath, which I really don't want. So the thought over here that this sheeting and siding has to go down below here, I still need to put a pin in to lock it. I was gonna do one of those, whatever those things are, like a square thing. The siding goes around, that goes flat against here. That'll give me access, but it will be protected and sided over. Maybe I do a pin somehow over here. The siding comes down, but that's pretty far in. I'd have to like recess it. It still gives me a critter space in there, which I don't want. Get on the inside, like up on the platform. What does that do for us? Number one, this pin can go away. So then I can bring sheeting and siding down to here. And I would use the same type of receiver and tongue on the inside, and I could do the same type of pinning through here. I think this is open underneath. I would extend the sheeting and siding all the way to here. So if this was the middle of a double wide, if it's a double wide, I still need something across the middle to hold the pieces. So it's not going to be an exterior wall, it's just going to be a frame, to hold everything in place. So I would still have, without the outside and stuff, I just have a frame that would go in there. The siding would extend over it, and then I guess same thing on the other side. This sheeting would extend over to the edge. So that could do that. I just gotta figure out if I have room to do I guess I should be able to put like a bolt or something, pick up that receiver, hold that wall in place. And then when this is a double long, you know, that's going to be 12 foot. It needs something here to keep the walls from wobbling back and forth. So I was just going to have a frame. This wouldn't be an exterior wall, it'd be an interior frame wall that could sit in here. But I wanted this flat for that, so I'm not eating up all my room. Like I was gonna do it like that. I suppose I should offset it a bit so it picks up that. Ponderings. So it was my initial thought was to put the wall on the inside, and then I'd make it, instead of 6 foot, I'd make it 6 foot 3 inches, because I'm going to use up 1.5 inches on both ends with an interior wall now. You know, I wanted 2 foot here, so I made it 2.5 foot to take into account the wall being on the inside and stuff. Okay, so we have fabricated the frame of an end wall, and we decided to put it on the inside like the side walls are instead of here. So we're not going to use this wooden peg. What we're going to look at is getting a tongue and receiver down into here, just like will be on the side walls. And then up here, I think it's going to be like an angle bracket this way and an angle bracket this way, and a pin to lock it in. For X and Y, we don't need Z, because this should take care of up and down motion. Yeah, all right. Well, so then the next thing to do is think about the roof, right? It was just going to be a 3 foot by 6 foot section. The roof probably could overhang, maybe doesn't need to overhang that much, but over a bit there, maybe a bit there, and a bit on this side. But if it's going to be an end to end, then this roof is going to have to shift, and that roof's going to shift so that the roofs butt up, right? And then I have to put something over the top somehow for that seam. If this is double wide, right? So then, right, so that could still be that way. So this is a double wide. This roof has to shift here so that the other roof will butt up there, and I need to do something with this seam. Then that will just hang over more, I think. Or not, like, I don't know until I get there, right? So that's where I'm at. That was kind of fun. Took most of the afternoon to do that. Kind of a lot of pondering and poking. I could work on those tongue and receiver brackets, or I could start pondering the roof section, but I probably need like that other section, or at least the other end wall, so that I can line things up. I'm not sure, but it's going to be dinner time, and then we got some other things to do this evening.